I agree.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Welcome to Drag the Lake.
Hey.
Wait. Welcome to
Baby.
Baby. We have babies. Welcome to Baby
Mart.
Buy a baby, get a baby. How many babies you want? Black, Chinese, Asian?
I'm going to start this episode off with a gripe. Are you ready for a quick gripe?
Pat, we've been griping it up pre-sewed. I love a good gripe. Hit
got
me with a gripe, baby boy.
I got a brand gripe to tell you.
Wait. Gripe me up, daddy.
Gripe blockers. That was hard to say. I was fucking had a stroke. No, I want to say there just ain't enough Pantera in Fortnite.
Wow. It's great to be a part of the first time a sentence been said.
Welcome to Nobody's Ever Fucking Uttered That Thought Before.
Welcome to First Time Thought.
If I'm being completely candid with you, sir, I will say if I'm certain
Val Kilmer's dead, George, not known to be candid.
Yeah, this is a lukewarm take. I think most people can agree with this one. Dude, I heard a lot of people going, man, Val Kilmer, what a great guy, what a great actor. And I'm like, that piece of shit.
Oh, that sack of fuck.
I really put a lot of Jim Morrison on Val Kilmer.
I did notice that about you. Yeah, you did really encapsulate Jim Morrison's essence into Val Kilmer. But
the Island Dr. Moreau shit, he really fucked that director, and he's a piece of shit for that. And I don't know.
His death was long overdue. That's what we say here.
Rest in piss, you fuck. No, I'll say this is a lot lower take, and I may even, this is maybe a spoiler or a possible precursor,
pre-cum,
but I feel like we could do Pantera week next week, both shows. Boom.
What? Wait, are we doing? Is next week going to be Pantera versus Pantera?
We could Pantera versus Pantera, and on Nomo we could do Dimebag Darrell. We could do Pantera month.
Oh my God, it's going to be Pantera week.
Yeah.
Oh, in the AFC and the NFC.
We could because I'll tell you what, I was listening to vulgar display of
vulgar
aggression.
Display of affection.
Of affection, yeah, of consumption, and and I will say, this is my next hot take. Everybody ready for this one? Sit down if you ain't, because that's a pretty good record.
Ooh, and I do got to say, shout
pretty
out,
good album.
Shout out to the boys at Dad Meat, one of the best appropriations ever of band content.
Oh.
Did you ever see that with Dad Meat? They took the album cover of we keep saying it wrong. What is it? Vulgar display of not affection.
It's aggression.
Aggression. Yeah.
I think I started to say it, and I was like, wait,
I cut you off to say a funny thing.
Yeah, affection's better though.
Yeah, but
because that's another thing. A vulgar display of affection is literally
maybe that's what the Dad Meat shirt said. But yeah,
I think it says. I don't know what you're saying. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
But on the Dad Meat shirt, it was the same cover, but instead of the fist punching, it's like a hand doing the thumbs up.
Yeah.
And I remember hitting Tim up or Mike or one of them just being like, grade A shirt. That's amazing. But yeah, I'm down for doing that. Pantera is definitely a band I've slept on. They also have an interesting history and shit like that, where they're not that racist, they're really racist. We got rid of the racist guy, but we're still a little racist.
Really kind of goes all over the place.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
because apparently,
I mean, the Phil Ensemble, he's which is actually, he's only one guy. His name is Phil Ensemble, but he's only
I hate you. Come on. God damn it.
But he might have multiple personalities. This isn't Pantera week yet, but he does have a sweet side where you're like, man, that guy seems like a real nice guy. And then other times where it looks like he's literally giving the Elon salute and mouthing, because they've already cut the mics, white power. So yeah. Well, he might be a conflicted fella.
Well, he's actually not. So if you, sure. There's great footage.
I'm sorry, dude. If it walks and it talks, walks like a duck, talks like a duck.
Well, no, it's not just a case of based off some of these little things, I could surmise. It's
Hiles like a
no,
duck?
in the middle of the concert, He does these like long speeches. It was like around Black Lives Matter and stuff.
Oh, boy.
He would do these like long fucking speeches about all this shit, and then I think he'd work in like a little, not like a white power, but he was something about being white. So it is a bad time. It is a bad time.
Yeah.
Fuck. I wish I saved the tweet, but I did find some info that would get... Before we get into the meat of this episode, a lot of people were coming at your favorite band, Pat, Turnstile. Because they just came out with new music.
Oh.
And
what did everybody think? They're like, they suck now, and it probably sounds exactly the same.
Pat?
Huh?
I mean, I've never seen you nail it better.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I completely 100% just guessed.
I can't remember the name of the fucking song because I like Turnstile a lot, but I don't know them well enough to remember what song this is.
Yeah.
But they just put out a new song, and dude, someone put it side by side with one of their popular songs from the last album. Brother, it's like the same song.
Right.
It's exactly the same.
You want to hear that song again?
And oh, by the way, someone had a great joke where they're like, Turnstile's new music sounds exactly like their old music. This is proof they're a hardcore band.
Okay, that is a good point.
Because that is a true statement about hardcore bands where you're like, oh, hell yeah, exact same album again?
Yeah.
Every song's exactly the same? I'm about to have a great day.
Hey, you know what it's called? That album's called It Ain't Broke No Fiction. Baby.
But yeah, I just wanted to...
Dude, that's so hilarious.
Dude,
I can't believe that.
No, you nailed it. You nailed it. But today isn't about Pantera, Turnstile, or anything else. Today is about two emo bands.
Two?
I don't know how to intro this at all. Two emo bands that sort of a feud defined a generation.
It really was apparently a gripping thing. Something that
It was a big deal.
Completely flew over or under. What is it? Under my radar? Over my radar?
I was on the bus to 7th grade.
It wasn't even near my radar. Sorry.
I was on the bus to 7th grade listening to Tell All Your Friends, so I was not hip to the New Jersey emo scene drama.
That's the thing. I didn't have any friends. That's that's the problem. Okay, now I see.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
that was the thing. I was smelly and
I had no
abrasive
one
to
to
be
tell.
around, and
No
no
one.
one wanted to tell me things.
No one. I was like, hey, you guys like Pennywise? They're like, no.
You're off-putting because you think throwing up on them like Fletcher is a thing to get more friends.
This is really cool, right?
They did this in their one DVD. Is this cool?
Yeah, they didn't like it. Yeah.
Oh wait, you can only do that when you can help your buddies make money in their rock band?
Can I give you a tattoo?
People don't like doing that in 9th grade?
Yeah, these guys, both of these bands are not necessarily bands that I listen to now, and they're not exactly bands that I really listen to then.
And they're not
But-
really bands I would want to listen to ever.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, I didn't listen to a lot of the Taking Back Sunday album, but I am excited to hear some of the history from that side.
Yeah.
But from my side, it seems pretty cut and dry, and it seems like a weird thing. I also found out that I did Brand New's Your Favorite Weapon.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I discovered, so I have an expert living in the house. And
oh yeah, you have a like this is the other thing I wanted to talk to. We both have problematic women in our lives.
Very much so.
Who both would like I was joking about this. We were talking last week about going to see Brand New.
Yeah.
You know, they have new sexual assault allegations, no new albums, and tickets are still somehow $350.
It's crazy.
It's insane. And I remember your wife,
My wife.
didn't even flinch, not even a consideration.
No.
I brought that up to my wife. I go, yeah, it's kind of weird with like the allegations and stuff. And she's like, oh no, I'd go see Brand New in a heartbeat. It's just 300 is too much. And I go, is it that didn't we do a whole thing for you guys?
Yeah.
Did we do a whole thing like 5 years ago for you guys?
Yeah.
And now we just have you and me are just married to Ghislaine Maxwell's.
Yeah, essentially,
It's fucking insane.
We know at least two women in the tri-state area that are staunch supporters of human trafficking and sexual assault and grooming. So
Yeah.
Because that's what Lacey did, obviously.
Yeah, that's like no. I was joking.
It was texting with a minor, right?
Yeah, it was just long term.
And then also this was.
It was just long term grooming that he didn't deny any of.
And this was another minor of which he did this with.
What?
The new allegation.
Oh,
she
yeah,
was
there
like
was
17,
a new
right?
one. I'm sure he did it a handful of times.
Still,
Was just, I think, you know what I think they do? I think they keep him locked and loaded, and they're like, every time Brand New tries to do anything, they're like, get out there, sweetheart. Besmirch his name.
Yeah. Get in there, besmirch, huh?
No, I heard that. I was talking to someone who was that fucking QB? Like, not Antonio Brown. He's the one with CTE that tweets all the time.
Yeah.
No, there was another one that was like playing on the Cleveland Browns, I think it was.
Oh, Jameis Winston?
Antonio Brown, I think maybe.
Antonio Brown is, I think he's a receiver.
Okay. Regardless who it was.
Yeah.
Maybe, no. Joe Burrow's on the Bengals. Yeah, so it was the Browns. And he was like the fucking man on the Texans.
Joe Montana.
Yes. He was the mixed with Peyton Manning on top of Gronk's shoulders.
Uh-oh.
But no, he had a thing where it came out that, the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's for the next episode. I was like, that was weird. No, he had a thing where he had a thing where it was like a bunch of massage therapists came out and was like, he kept trying to get us to suck his dick and fuck him and stuff like that. And it was like a hilariously large number.
Yeah.
Like he was hitting up like 10 a week or something for like a year and a half or some shit.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But apparently like the lawyer who brought the case against him, people found out that the dude like was basically like, yeah, I'm gonna slow drip a couple whores every week.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, not whores, victims.
No, yeah. But yes, this is not that controversy. We're talking about the controversy that was in the early 2000s, and you researched Taking Back Sunday's Tell All of Your Friends.
Yes.
And then so they both have "your" in the title. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Why?
What?
Very accusatory titles in both albums. You don't like the stance?
Wait, were we supposed to? Fuck, I forgot to research the.
No, we were not supposed to fuck.
Andy,
Andy, please, if I'm asking you anything, don't pull a Lacey on me. Stop grooming this boy. This is just a podcast. You're the one petting the
cat the whole time. You're the only one who's been close to grooming anything today. You're the Jesse Lacey of this. I'm Adam Lazzara. You're Jesse Lacey.
I'm so glad you pronounce it.
I don't know.
Wasn't it Greg? Somebody?
I've been a fan of Taking Back Sunday for 20 plus years. Still not confident what his last name is.
So you were a fan of both of these bands at the time of both of these releases, or were you introduced later on after all the controversy?
And I'm glad we're going down this route because I put all my effort into the controversy, none into all your friends' production.
I have some. I
fucked that up. That's my fault.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just a bad boy.
Well,
and I fuck.
There it is.
Damn it, every time.
You earned that motherfucker, man.
I did earn it.
You earned that motherfucker,
I am a bad
man.
boy. I'm a bad boy.
Sorry.
No,
this is my
intro,
second or third cup of Zoot juice. So.
I forget exactly. I forget exactly how I got into Taking Back Sunday. I'm guessing comp or something like that.
Were you giving up Saturdays?
What?
You were Taking Back Sunday. Were you giving?
Never get up my Saturday, dude. That's for cartoons and cereal.
The head bob.
Are you fucking crazy?
The head bob? Are you kidding me?
Look at me in the eyes and ask me if I gave up my Saturday.
You don't think I'm listening to this album eating some cereal?
No, I would. Yeah, I forget, but I know. I got into Taking Back Sunday in like 6th or 7th grade, which. Dude, listening back, I had a weird experience listening back to this album because I realized...
Listening back Sunday?
What?
Like listening back Sunday?
Listening back Sunday? No, listening back today, actually. It was more fun
it's Friday today. They didn't get that.
It was more fun on Sunday.
This was released on Sunday, right?
You know when this will come out? Saturday, when I'm watching cartoons. No, It was so this. I was joking with you before we started recording. I was like, actually doing this episode, there was like a 2-pronged thing of like fucking me up, where I like got into the actual controversy and something about looking at it with like 35-year-old eyes and understanding how invested I was with these bands and like all these other little things. It just made me. It just made me have this moment where I was like, have I wasted my whole life? So I'm having a rough week.
Hilarious. That's such a fucking hilarious thought of like the research is brought. This is done to you what me researching current day conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
it broke you to where you're like staring out the window, just like going like, what the fuck have I done with my life?
I haven't listened to like emo music like this in a minute. And I've been, I try to work on myself. I've been going through some changes sort of emotionally and mentally and stuff like that. I feel like I'm growing as a person, literally and mentally. And I think I've gotten, I've sort of moved past this guy I used to be. And I've been better at identifying the negative aspects of who I am, the toxic parts of my personality, the certain things that hold me back. So I've been doing that for the past couple years and stuff.
Yeah.
And then this week...
That's not what this music is for.
Here's the thing.
For.
This is what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
So this week I start listening to music and I go, I was like, this is ground zero. This was my emo 9/11. I go, it's because of this.
This is why you've been sad most of the time?
If I, Taking Back Sundays, Tell All Your Friends is why... I'm such a pussy sometimes.
Wow.
Because I listen to it and dude, you don't realize, people think oh, why do people get so, and I'm not trying to just completely shun emo music. I am who I am now because of the fucking loser I used to be. But at the same time, when it becomes so epically clear that I go, this is a direct reason for a lot of my problems in my head and my life. You go man, if I could have figured that out earlier. Because dude, when I was younger, people look at oh, why do people get obsessed with this pussy emo music and stuff? You don't understand the intoxicating feeling of how when you start listening to emo music and they're just hey, all those problems you have and all those bad feelings you have?
Yeah, the intrusive thoughts, yeah.
Yeah, none of them are because you've done anything wrong. It's all external problems.
I'm being attacked?
And yes. And
by love?
And if a girl breaks up with you, it's because she did something. And you know what else? If you threaten death upon her...
She turned 18.
You're... She did that at you.
Yeah.
She turned 18 at you.
Fucking consenting bitch. Fuck, that's no longer statutory hoary. No, you were about to say if you threaten physical attack, they'll fall back in love with you, right?
Yes.
Because that's exactly what Dom has explained to
fat.
me. You're talking about our wives being so problematic. She talked about a kid back in school that there was, I think it's a brand new song, or it could be a Taking Back Sunday. I don't know. Maybe it's Bright Eyes. I don't fucking know. One of them. One of them.
Jack's Mannequin.
It's about getting even if you were in a car wreck and there's glass all over your face and all this bullshit.
Oh.
And it's I'd still love you or whatever, and it's he wrote that to her to try to get her to like her.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy. That's psychopathic behavior.
And then when you're a little white,
but if you're at that time, yeah.
When you're a little white boy in your suburban high school, you hear that and you go, that motherfucker's spitting.
It's so funny that you have this epiphany of this shaped your life so much because
I knew it. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say when I was researching the whole drama and everything.
You did the same thing shitting last night?
No.
You're like, wow, this is why I am the way I am.
I had a completely different experience. This is how the bass player for Taking Back Sunday sums up the entirety of your youth.
And this is the other thing, by the way. I'm so glad you have the actual clip.
Yeah.
Because this moment, you realize, not to bury the lead, but you realize how truly nothing this is.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know this video?
Yeah, here, play it. I won't talk over it.
Yeah, this is great.
John and Jesse liked a girl. John made out with a girl before Jesse did. Jesse got bummed about it, and all these songs happened because of it.
Yeah, and then I hear that, and I go, was my whole high school years meaningless?
That's so funny. That's what I was thinking. The whole time you were explaining this, I was I was going to save this for mine, but this is your band saying it.
Yeah.
And I had to pull this clip because I was like, this is...
I was like, wait.
This is This is exactly how I feel about it. He's been hearing and been asked these questions for fucking years and years. And this is from like, I think 2012, I think.
Yeah.
And it's like, and if they're still performing now, or if they continue to perform or anything, from any interview forever and ever, it's going to be, I know you get this asked this a lot, but it's just gonna be like,
that dude's so mad. No, you know what the worst, dude? You know what the worst part is? He's like, I was watching some videos about it, and in the one I go, and they're like, yeah, and then actually, they made up really quickly after it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah, like this. I've heard
How
about this.
How are they even?
I've heard about this. That's what I'm saying. It's like, so my overarching theory after all of this is like this was a thing that, much like how Billy Corgan is getting into now a lot more because he's such a wrestling fan, but like this may have been one of the biggest emo works of all time.
And that's what I also was getting.
Yeah.
I was looking up into. I go, there was people theorizing. They're like, they may have made up.
Yeah.
Or made up the whole thing.
I'm not saying it's a psyop. I'm not saying it's a false flag. I'm just saying.
Guys, we got an emo blue beam.
Emo blue beam.
Emo paperclip.
A boo beam.
A boo
A
beam.
boo beam. We got it.
Yeah.
Teamwork. That's why we do this.
Buddies. You get one too, Stanley.
Yeah, but you consented to that.
Right?
You like that.
And if you didn't, I'm going to bother you till you say yes.
If you like that, you'll unalive yourself. Don't worry, guys. I know that YouTube,
Like and subscribe.
YouTube. They're not loaded. Don't worry.
Your prop handguns.
These are props. This ain't no Rust situation, okay?
But yeah, so
We're pros here.
yeah, and then it's like, dude, I watched that, and then it's like, dude, I start looking through, and yeah, this might, because here's the thing. So to go over it again, if people missed any of it, basically, Brand New is a band. Well, so Taking Back Sunday is a band in New Jersey.
I do have. Do you want to like mix this one instead? We don't have to do like we can go back and forth because I feel like Because I was gonna say I did do that research as well.
Yeah,
like
yeah, I did that too. Yeah.
I mean, no, but like the regular research.
Oh, okay.
Like so they formed in 2000 in Merrick, New York. Prior to their formation, the members were in other bands. Blah blah blah. This is the thing that I think is really interesting. So the band signed to Triple Crown.
Oh, really?
After their second ever show.
Yeah.
In 2000 I think that was 2000.
That
or
was
2001.
That was a weird time.
That is fucking crazy, dude.
So here, this is what
they
I was gonna
formed
say.
in 2000, and then they're like,
that was a weird time because and there's this great book called Sellout that talks about it was like the pop punk emo post hardcore craze of like the early 2000s, and it's like at that time period, it's like this post Nirvana, but now it's shifting where it's like rock is popular, but we don't exactly want that heroin rock as much anymore.
Yeah.
And dude, record labels were fucking signing people like crazy. Like, dude, that's like, and this is way later, but you know, Panic at the Disco, they got signed before they ever played a show. They just posted music on Pete Wentz's Live Journal. And Pete Wentz was like, "You sound like the guy I play with. I'll hire you."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The band. So the record label apparently was initially interested in the hardcore band Hometown Hero, a band that featured Tierney and Lane from that band. But I guess by the time Fred, I guess, is the guy who owns your favorite or the record label. I did some of that research too. It's a really weird the person who produced their first album also produced all of Brand New's albums.
Taking Back Sundays?
No, I don't know about that. He didn't do
Brand New.
Yeah, but he did like Mike Sapone.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. But Triple Crown Records, Brand New sent Fred their demo, and Lacey said the label was excellent for the band in every way.
Oh, so can I back you up a little bit?
Yeah,
Pause.
sorry.
No, so here's where the link actually starts.
Yeah.
Is I never realized this. I just thought they were friends in a similar music scene. brand new, or I'm sorry, Jesse Lacey was actually technically in Taking Back Sunday for a minute. He played bass for them, and he's actually on their first demo or EP or whatever you want to call it. Adam, Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
He played bass on the demo, but Jesse Lacey, technically, he's credited as doing like backup vocals on it or shit.
Yeah.
So he was playing bass and Taking Back Sunday for a minute. He eventually leaves. They do a show in North Carolina. Adam Laserbeam goes to that.
Yeah.
He really likes the band. He's like
Uncle Laserbeam.
Uncle Laser Adam. Uncle Adam Laser. He goes to the show. He's like, yo, you guys need a bassist. Wouldn't it be sick if I was the bassist? And they kind of called him on his bluff, and he was like, oh, shit, really?
He's like, oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
Does anybody have a bass? And they just hand it to him. Oh, no.
I don't know how to play this. Yeah. Yes, you do, Adam.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. It's a post-hardcore emo band.
Yeah.
You know how to play bass.
Just really dance.
So he
move around, baby.
He moves over to fucking Long Island, is with the band, and then they're writing "Tell All Your Friends" and shit like that. Or no, so all the Jesse Lacey stuff happens, like the dude said in 5 seconds. It was literally like at a party.
He liked a girl. He kissed her first, and then when he went to date her,
and then
she was like, "I kissed him," and he's like, "What the fuck? You went behind my back," and it's like. No.
Yeah. And then that was the part where I proceeded to... My whole reality got crushed.
I've been growing that bitch for months. You know how hard it is to convince her parents to let me take her out? She's 10 years old.
You know how hard You know how hard it was to make up a fake permission slip? You know how hard that was?
You know how fucking hard that was?
God damn it. You put in the work, John.
Put months in this bitch.
I put all
Like that's really what that's the
You're
energy.
trying to degrade her mentally slowly over months, John.
It's so crazy that since like 2001 where like you're like, oh my god, I totally get that guy, to like now looking back you're like, get the fuck over it, dude. Like but I get it. In that state, but I was at the time a child.
Yeah. It's like,
you're a dude, like you're a guy in a band. It was like in your 20s, I would assume at this point. 20s?
I'm guessing late teens, early 20s.
Like
they can't be old. These albums, they can't be older than like 22 on.
You're right. So they're probably closer to our age, right?
Yeah.
Or like my age, probably. I'm a little older than you, a little wiser. So
they're
like,
probably a hair older than you.
Yeah, about a cunt hair older than I am.
About a twat's hair older.
Yeah, about 2 twats hairs older than I am.
But yeah, so then it was like that
which
clip.
is 2 twats hairs too many for Lacey. You know what he says? Grass on the field, no ball.
That's what's keeping you from fucking Jesse Lacey?
Yep. All these pubes.
He's like brushing your hair. He's like, 1, 2, 3. Patrick, way too many twat hairs.
This is cunt hair too many.
It's cunt hair too many, Patrick.
But yeah,
I shall not fuck you this eve.
That's
how he talks.
but it is literally it's like a one instance at a party.
Yeah.
In like years of friendship at this point,
it was like,
right?
It was like
Aren't they friends for years at this point?
Yeah, they were all like in this, and then they were back to friends very quickly. Yep. No, but it was like this. The thing that kind of like broke me and broke my psyche was like finding out a lot of this music is truly like it gave me this very shallow feeling. Yeah. There's something about where it's like you already go where you're like, oh, I'm still in my 30s and I'm listening to songs 19-year-olds wrote and it's all melodramatic and blah blah blah, and then it's just like, I'm assuming it's not all of your favorite weapon, but a lot of your favorite weapon is just written about like, yeah, Jesse, you didn't get to make out with a chick.
Yeah.
Go to another party and make out with a chick.
It's crazy. So this is a weird thing, right? So there's those songs, right? Mm-hmm. There's like the song what is it again? 70
times 7.
70 times 7. Sorry, I apologize. But that's the theme. So your favorite weapon is a studio album, blah blah blah. So most of the songs, so like all of the songs on the album were written according to Accardi within the quotes within our teenage years. Some songs were written 2 or 3 years before the record came out. The shower scene references Janet Leigh's story in the film Psycho. Mm-hmm. The title of Jude Law in The Semester Abroad references actor Jude Law. Failure by Design is Lacey experiencing writer's block. So like each one of these, like they're like, it's a real kind of. So like, you know how like a comic or a band's like first album is like sometimes really awesome, like really great. I think that's kind of what happened was like they probably took the songs that they were playing in their other bands to this band because like this really is crazy how quickly they put out this what is considered a super prolific album. Yeah. That at least the fans really love. I understand too that Brand New doesn't play any of the songs off this first album.
I noticed that I saw the concert footage from their current tour. But they didn't play one song from this album.
It's cool that they have like all this like I didn't realize all the cinematic references and stuff like that in Brand New's albums and stuff like that. But get this, right? Yeah. So this is the cover for Your Favorite Weapon, right?
I know you were shocked because you were like, he has very mature interests.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, clocks and chess? An analog clock? Digital. You got to get digital. They can't read that. I'd assume
it'd be more of like a Tamagotchi for him.
There's no way they're still teaching that in schools. But there's a thing. So this is a theory. I found this on Reddit. This is a really cool thing. So Your Favorite Weapon, you might have already been. So the question is basically, what's the artwork mean? So with the limited edition pre-order packets of science fiction, including quote. Oh, so that's what I wanted to make sure I was reading the right part. Oh, okay. With the limited edition pre-order packets of science fiction, they included a quote from 2001: A Space Odyssey. The quote is in regards to the chess match between Hal, the computer, and Dr. Poole. Dr. Poole winds up resigning after Hal sets up a checkmate with one of his knights. After seeing that, I assume the album art is inspired by that scene. Okay. So like even the album cover is a reference to 2001: Space Odyssey. So it's not like it's an emo album for sure, but like a lot of the subject matter is like kind of cinematic, which is pretty cool. I didn't realize that. Yeah. That's kind of cool because like you think it's like, oh, it's a chess match. I'm proving you wrong, bitch. Or like, nope, it's a reference to movies. Showers, like he's talking about the movie Psycho. It's a lot of that stuff where you're like, oh, it's actually just good music that's like about weird different topics, like all over the place. Yeah, it's not just all thematic. I thought, like, legitimately from the outside, I thought this album and that album were both like everything was Easter eggs about the other one, and everything was like a message about something else. It's like, nope, they're just a band.
No, it's literally just...
They're just a band.
Well, yeah, I thought it too. I thought it was like sort of entwined throughout the whole album. And then you just kind of find out that there's the one line in 70 times 7 where he's like, is that what you call a getaway? Tell me what you got away with. And I've seen more spine than jellyfish. Seen more guts in 11-year-old kids. Wait, what's the next line? Have another drink and drive yourself home. Hope your car goes off the road down something when you're through the windshield.
Sell guts and 11-year-old kids?
Yeah.
What?
Hey, is that an 11-year-old kid?
Yeah.
What's he doing later?
Jesse's like, hold on, let me lay a track down.
Tell him to call me in about 3 years.
What's that 11-year-old kid's name? And does he need those guts pushed in?
Have dibs on that 11-year-old kid?
Can I push those guts in?
It's so funny. It's so funny.
Yeah, 11-year-old kid, and you just cut the Lacey going, what's that now? I'm listening.
You just hear music hit, day bow bow.
He's a pedophile. That's the joke. We're joking about that.
I made myself
allegedly.
Oh, nope, he admitted to it.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
In detail.
Literally.
Literally. Confirmed.
Confirmed. Yeah.
So, yeah.
The alternate cover.
Oh, yeah, so we had that.
Oh, yeah.
And then everyone was like, John was like, is that because of that bitch I made out with?
Yeah.
So I will give Taking Back Sunday a lot of props. They then took that line from, and they on their one song, There's No I in Team.
Uh-huh.
And because Take It Back Sunday, one of the big reasons they got popular is they sort of introduced that call and response. I wouldn't say introduced, because every time you say they started it, there's always someone who's like, well, actually, this band Nerve Endings on this small indie label did it on their one EP in 2000 and fucking remember.
Yeah.
So they got really popular because they did that sort of like call and response thing really well, where they would have basically like Adam Lasagna was the lead singer, but like the other guy John sang a substantial amount too. So it was like kind of this cool call and response thing they would do. And so they would have all these like layered lyrics, and in the middle of the bridge of There's No I in Team, that verse that I just sang for you perfectly, they put that in the background. So it's like you can hear it if you're listening to it.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear if you're like listening for it. But if you're just kind of listening to the song, it can go by pretty easily. So that was their way of being like, fuck you, Jesse.
Yeah. It's like, it really is. It's funny because like by the time it seems like they released these songs, they were already back to being friends. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of it, like the pressure of it, like it's like even like comics do it too, where you write about like an experience you had and you try to like recreate that feeling. But the fact that Brand New not like wanting to perform this, it makes total sense. Listening to this album compared to their other albums that I like, the ones that I prefer, like The Devil and God Are Eating Lasagna Inside Me.
Yeah. The Devil and God Are Hating Mondays Inside Me.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry. I knew it was something with Garfield.
The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me because there's no child inside me.
There's no child inside me because he's fucking left, unfortunately.
The Devil and God are both agreeing that I should call a child.
Yeah. It's just the Devil and Chris Hansen are waiting inside for me to sit down.
The Devil and God have called the cops and they're outside.
I'm trying to meet the Devil and my friend at this Home Depot, but apparently these weirdos came in and started slapping me.
They're like,
is that the name of it?
The Devil and God are here to meet a 14-year-old girl.
Child molester in your area.
The Devil and God have entrapped me in a pedophile sting and are shoulder checking me into a building.
But their other records and stuff like that, like, are so different. Crazy. Like it's
insane how different.
It really is. It's like how it reminded me of how like Thrice sounds on Phoenix Ignition. I think is I don't know if that's the name of it.
But I know what you're saying.
Identity Crisis, I think is the name.
Thrice had like riffs, and then they're like, and we're a bluegrass band.
Well, they had
maybe not bluegrass, but you know what I mean.
They have. I will say though, they've gone crazy from. I can't remember the very first.
They've always been good though, right?
Yeah, even that first, like they'll play that. For the real ones out there.
Deadbolt?
Not even. I'm saying even before Deadbolt. I'm trying to think of that. Identity Crisis. Yeah, that's what I thought. 2001, and it's crazy because they're not as emo-y. It's not as like flowy necessarily.
Yeah.
It's more punk sounding. Do you know what I'm saying? So then they go from that to The Illusion of Safety, which is more like emo, screamo kind of shit.
A little bit of shredding.
And shredding. Like they shred they're emo shredders necessarily. Yeah. But then they go into like bluegrassy and like they're singing like chain gang songs of like prison songs and shit. Like you're like, what?
Jump down, turn around, pick a bell.
But I keep going. Like I go, I like it. And then like even Dustin Kensrue shit, like that's like that got me listening to more acoustic stuff. Until then, I know for sure I made an ass of myself directly to the guy who is Dashboard Confessional. There was no band at that time. It was just the guy. Who's the guy?
Johnny Confessional.
Johnny Confesh.
Yeah, Johnny Confesh.
But like I was there to see. And by the way, for context, I was there to fucking rip it up for MXPX. I don't need this pussy shit.
I was there to mosh for Christian punk rock.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that was the reference of, and then but like I was just like, boo.
No.
Yeah, I fucking
booed Dashboard Confessional.
I was heckling Dashboard Confessional because I was like, who the fuck is this guy? It's just, and like he pull out another guitar. He had like a ton of acoustic guitars all set up. He would take another one and he'd start playing it. I go, still not good.
Oh my God, dude.
It was obnoxious.
Why'd you boo Dashboard?
Because I hated it. Because I was just like, what is this pussy shit? Plug it in.
What's this pussy shit? Hey, MXPX, play Punk Rock Girl.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
what are you
saying.
talking about?
For reference.
You're at an MXPX show.
That's what I'm saying. Andy, I'm admitting I was wrong.
So funny.
But I was relentlessly heckling Dashboard Confessional.
Bring out the real men.
Yeah, come on.
MXPX.
Yeah. Small town minds. Hello.
I can't even remember MXPX.
I love
songs.
MXPX.
I
I
know
still
you
love
do.
MXPX.
I love MXPX too.
But for me to demand that this pussy shit stops, so the pussy shit I want can come on. But to be honest,
You're like, get off the stage so they can play hard shit like Chick Magnet.
yeah, Chick Magnet. Yeah, I was
Dude, that's so funny. You booed Dashboard.
and god damn it, was my face red when I heard them on the radio a couple years later. And I'm just like, oh, that's those guys? And I'm like, your hair is everywhere. Yeah. And I'm just like, still sucks. I would still do the exact same thing. And I would say it to his face. I don't like that. I don't like some whiny bitch singing with a guitar, like whining with a guitar. Like I understand you have feelings, and I understand there's emotions and stuff, but I'm more of an angst guy. I'm an angsty fella.
Well, dude, so
I'm an
this
angsty emo guy. But when it's just acoustic guitar, even Dustin Kensrue's solo stuff, he would have thrice. Yeah, he would have like a bluegrass. Like again, it was like bluegrassy. It wasn't just an acoustic, but I made excuses for it.
I realized the difference because I'm listening to this, I'm having this epiphany. I'm realizing how much these dudes like suck ass. It wasn't the pedophile claims. It was this week.
No, yeah, it was the other
this
stuff.
week when it affected me.
Yeah, when it started hitting this thing right here.
And don't get me wrong. I'm still gonna fucking tap into Taking Back Sunday. I'm never gonna stop listening to Taking Back Sunday. But like realizing that's my wallet. Oh yeah, Steph got me that. I mean, that's how every guy gets their wallet, right?
What time?
What?
A.M.
Knock it off. I just did that because I didn't have a joke. No, but I'll always listen to Taking Back Sunday. It's just I think the thing that like fucked me up this week was like how like truly realizing how like whiny and toxic the like me basically going all in on shit like that made my fucking brain and my thought process.
It's very.
And I go, wait a minute, is this gonna ruin me for sad music? And I was like thinking about Alkaline Trio. And I go, wait, let me throw on some Alkaline Trio. And I go, nah, this still rips. Yeah. And I realized the distinction. You said it. There's having like angst and anguish. And then there's just complaining.
Just bitching and
that's
moaning.
What, like,
get over it.
That's what a lot of emo music is just bitching.
I just figured it out. You know what bothers me? I think so much about that especially is because it's Jesse Lacey, who's the Timmy Lazans in Taking Back Sunday.
Oh, Adam LaBamba.
Yeah, Adam LaBamba. You got Jesse Lacey, and you got Slay. You got all these people that are just FedExing ass to themselves from all over the world. They just pulling an ass wherever they like. They got hot and cold ass on tap. Yeah. Wherever they want, of age, underage, above age, whatever you want.
Of age, underage. I'll only stick with underage.
Women.
I can totally get of age. Just underage, please.
These guys, the scene boy, the emo boy was so fetishized by women for such a long time that it's like, I'm watching this fucking pussy and Dashboard confessional on stage crying about how nobody loves him with a gaggle of broads. Whoa! In between each song. Because again, I will tell you, I was not reading the room. Everybody else was enjoying Dashboard Confessional.
Yeah.
I was a problem.
Well, I'm glad you brought up women.
Everybody loves you.
I'm glad you brought up women and we can really highlight the true problem of it. I always say people would make fun of me for like my emo shit, and I just go, brother, you don't understand. It got you pussy.
But that's the problem.
And that's the problem. Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Women don't know what they want. Because they it's all due to the fact that they, a lot of them love to fucking jay off while reading a good book. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Probably what she's doing right now.
That's what she's doing.
Yeah.
It's making me incredibly uncomfortable. I want to leave.
Yeah.
But
she is not quiet with it. It doesn't get picked up on.
Oh
the mic.
yeah.
But if Andy's not wearing headphones, it gets right into his dome. Yeah.
Pat, you said you would have J off this time.
You know what's called when women do it? It's called jilling.
That's nice.
Not jacking.
Good
jilling.
for them. Yeah, that
Cute.
makes sense. Jilling off.
It's cute.
Yeah, nice. It's fun.
Also, one of my favorite actors, Jack Gyllenhaal.
What?
Jake Gyllenhaal. Sorry.
Jake Jilling off. There's a real. Never mind. I was gonna make fun of his ugly sister.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I know. I was like, wait, is that her name?
I'm just not gonna hit her with a stray for no reason.
Jill Gyllenhaal.
But no. So like this shit. Because here's I think it's how like ladies' brains work. Because they like to Jill off to like a book. Mm-hmm. Men like to jack off to like videos and pictures and shit like that. Yeah. It's because women. It's, to bring back a wrestling term, they work themselves into a shoot about like the man that they want, and dudes respond to that. But then you become that man based off of the information around you, and it like it gets you some young when you're in high school. It gets you pussy. But the thing is, if you keep doing that when you get older, you're like, why does she keep going for the actual man? Because they don't know what they want.
Because they don't exist. Women create men that don't exist in their mind.
And if they do exist, it dries their pussy up.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, but men like will lust after women that do exist, but are on Instagram and are giving an example of what. They're skewing the final picture. But this reminds me of, have you seen the Bob Dylan movie?
No, with Timmy Shamalama Ding Dong?
Tim Shimla Ding Dong.
Which I like him.
Right. I like him.
Seems like a chill dude.
It is the exact same problem I have with every other movie.
Sack of shit?
That it's like this kind of thing where it's like, it didn't happen that way. And I go, and I was talking about this with Dom, and I said, it made me hate Bob Dylan so much more because it was a thing where he's just a pathological liar.
Is he?
Yeah. And I was watching that movie, and I said, I can tell. While I'm watching this movie, I said, he was definitely involved in the production of this movie. And Dom goes, how do you know that? And I go, because he was never wrong.
Yeah.
Like every single time, like he was a whiny, bitchy artist. He was false modest. He was a liar. And this is the story he approved. So like this is the thing where like he's happy to add to, he calls it, it's like when we say like, oh, I played a prank on you, and you go, no, you're just lying. You're a liar.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the same
stepping
thing.
on black dude's shoes in the hood.
And so it's the same idea where he goes to this folk fest. Even in the final scene, the final like crescendo is him at folk fest.
Hell yeah.
And he plays
traditionally fun experience.
And he plays rock and roll music with an electric guitar and a band, and everybody's booing him. And it's like I said, I learned nothing. They asked you to play folk fest, and they asked you specifically,
going,
please play folk.
Bring on NXPX.
Dude, that's what reminded me of it was the booing thing. But I was like, no, you're just a phony piece of shit. And like this was part of the podcast that we ended up losing the audio when I was recording with Dom. I had this. You got like revelation.
You got Dylan Fuck. I was trying to put Bob Dylan and sabotage into the same word, and it was just retarded.
Dillasage.
You got Dillasage?
There was a TJ Dillasage. But this point of like going like you're just a phony, like you're a great artist. We like your art, but like your poetry is. I said if this was just like Jim Morrison, if you take the acoustic guitar out of your hand and you just have this guy saying these words on a street corner, you're ignoring him and you're walking past.
He's schizophrenic.
He's a crazy, stupid, not deep. He's a lying asshole.
Dude,
but it's also like he's not even embracing the lying asshole part. He's trying to come off as deep. And then when the more famous he gets, he's just like, nobody understands me. No, you're just a dickhead.
You just suck ass.
You're like, that's what I'm saying.
No,
Bob Dylan writes great music, and it's really deep, but it's after a while, if you go back on it and you reflect, you're like, Shut up.
Well, there's a lot of musicians who I think it's like if they were a car, it'd be like a cool shiny car with all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
And then when you like opened it up on the inside, it would just be like 3 Indian kids running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh, you got nothing going on up in here. You're not actually that dude. I forget when it was, but like it was fairly recently. I realized I never really listened to. I just was like, okay, Bob Dylan's good, but he's probably like not my main thing.
Yeah.
I never pursued him because I don't really listen to folk music like that or whatever. I'm not anti-folk. It's just not my thing. And then I forget who I was with. It might have been Steph or someone who knew Bob Dylan's music, and I was playing it. Dude, I'm not kidding. I literally went. I go, wait, is this actually his music?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. And I'm like, this is the poetry everyone was sucking off?
Yeah.
Now, full disclosure, I'm not going to act like I've listened to a shitload of Bob Dylan, but I've listened to the hits, and I'm like, this is retarded.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
It's like the movie starts with him just showing up in a fucking taxi cab. He tells everybody that he used to work for the circus, and they're like, "No, you didn't. You fucking phony, lying piece of shit.
Yeah.
You're a kid from New Jersey, and you wrote some songs because you're a fan of this style of music.
Well,
you like this kind of art, and just admit that you're just an artist that likes to. But it's this false. It's like, where silence is violence now. Silence back in the day used to be silence is genius.
Yeah.
And it's like you're this deep fucking. But again, it's the homeless rantings of a crazy person. This is that same idea of me thinking back to that dashboard and confessional night and just cringing, being like, I was wrong. I was the one who was addicted.
Yeah.
I should have just gotten a fucking drink. I was not old enough to drink, but I should have just gone. And fucking or I just should have kept it to myself.
Should have waited.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was one of those things where everybody else was really hyped to see Dashboard Confessional open for MXPX.
You don't have to repent for your sins, Pat.
But I'm just saying that
we all know what happened.
They're like going back. So it totally makes sense for me why Brand New wouldn't want to play these songs, or if I don't know if Taking Back Sunday has the same feeling or not. But I gotta say, like, that's for me. If I was a fan of this band and I loved this album, like I love Thrice, when they play shit off of Identity Crisis, like they play like 1 or 2 of the songs, like a hit or something, like 1 or 2. That's all we need. That's all you need.
Dude,
you gotta play the one that we all love that you like play the hit.
All you got to do in those scenarios is you play the album you don't really want to play anymore. You play the hit from it, and occasionally you play a deep cut you know everyone likes.
And change it. You know what I love? Changing it up. Like for a live version, if you like the fast part, if you like break it to a breakdown or something like that, or you speed it up, or what you want to speed it up, you want to play it really fast.
You know who's really good for that? Enter Shikari, because they have all the like DJ equipment. Yeah. So they're able to like they'll like dubstepify or like dance, like technoify a song.
Play a medley. Play a medley from the album.
They do that by the way.
Yeah, dude. Like, dude.
They'll crush you with like in like 5 minutes. They'll hit you with like 7 or 8 songs in a quick medley.
If I may, if Weird Al can do it, there's no reason why you can't do it. You think you're better than Weird Al, Brand New?
Here's the thing. Weird Al, I've seen him live twice. He does every costume.
Have you really seen Weird Al twice? I'm sorry. Really?
Yeah.
Where? When?
I saw him at the Stabler Arena in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Where were your seats?
What?
Like, where'd you sit?
Floor seats, baby. Yeah, dude. Al walked by us.
No way.
Dude, he was doing a sick bit where he was doing a ballad, and he had like a towel.
Yeah.
And he was like, he wiped his sweat, and then he just put it on a kid's head and kept walking.
Weird Al. Hey, Weird Al, still squeaky clean.
Hilarious.
Respect that.
No, dude, it wasn't a big, the Stabler Arena wasn't like huge, but dude, it's so funny. We saw a monster truck show in there, and they realized it was not big enough for a monster truck show. So like
they were hitting the roof.
Well, dude, the monster truck they brought a full monster truck in, and it did one jump, and then just kind of had to like slowly turn it,
like a 17-point turn.
Yeah, dude, kind of. And then they hit the jump again, and then he just left. Dude, we saw him hit one jump twice. And then they just had, dude, they had like
You guys ready to see that same jump again?
That's the only jump we can do.
Give us 5 minutes so we can reposition the truck.
Dude, it was sick. They had like midgets on dirt bikes. It was awesome.
That's
But no, in the same area, yeah, we were on the floor and we saw Weird Al, and it was fucking. Bro, I was probably in like 20th row. It was sick,
Dude, I forgot about wanting so badly to see Weird. If that is a bucket list,
I would
to the
say
umpteenth degree.
And honestly, now he didn't like fall off, but he's not big like he used to be.
Right.
So he's probably very accessible.
I might be able to see him at like a state fair or something, right? You think?
Bro, well, that's where I saw him the second time.
Yeah.
He was at the Allentown Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
You ever been there? Mm-mm. It was like Allentown Fairgrounds. It's like
maybe is that where Arts Fest is?
Near there.
I think I've been, so maybe I haven't been to I think I've driven past it. Like, I haven't been to the actual.
Yeah. It's the size of an area. I think they did like horse races there back in the day. And it's like that size. So they can do pretty big ass concerts there. I actually saw, before we finish the episode, we do have to. I was just gonna say I saw Weezer there, and dude, I was on stream the other day and I looked into the whole thing. On
Okay,
his
yeah,
wife.
I would love an update.
I just wanted to tell you because it's hilarious.
Okay, yeah, because that's the weird thing. For some reason, every time I read a news story about somebody getting shot, I just assume they're dead. So when I saw shot by police,
that's what I assumed
considered
too.
a murder. I was just like, oh damn. And then I was like, especially if she had a weapon.
Yeah,
I was like.
We'll get into it.
Okay. So, but yeah.
But no, what was
Weird Al?
Weird Al. Weird Al rips. Wait, were we saying? Yeah, no, he's a great live show. He does all the outfits. He comes out in the fat suit. He shows like short sketches in between on the Jumbotron while he's changing and stuff.
But one of my favorite things about him is like the melody when he doesn't do like he doesn't give a song a full treatment, but he just does a mini polka cover version of a bunch of songs.
He did that, like whatever his polka song at the time was.
He rules.
Polka My Eyes Out, whatever the fuck he wants to call it.
You guys need to put some respect on Weird Al's name, and honestly, respect that if anybody wanted to be inappropriate with children, that guy could have gotten a green light from most of the kids in the world.
Huh?
Well, I'm trying to bring us back into brand new.
Okay, I was like, why'd you say that?
Yeah, but
That's
hasn't.
so funny.
That's called the strength.
But yeah, so that's what I want. That's the last thing I wanted to say on this, where it was like, so Brand New puts out the album, and I'm guessing what happened because like. I saw someone sort of breaking down how quickly Brand New and Taking Back Sunday were doing stuff together versus when the actual album comes out. Mm-hmm. And the guy was like saying, he was like, I don't think they were actually fucking mad at each other. I think they just exploited it because you got to remember, these albums are the albums these bands blew up on.
Yeah. So
they weren't big when the albums came out. So this could just have been an ingenious idea to create buzz around the bands that like base level of fandom could like sink their teeth into.
Yeah, because that was 2001 too, right?
Yeah.
So they both came out in 2001. They're both big in the same music scene.
Well, that's the other part of it. That's the other part of it too, where it was like, it also does seem like it could be sort of a quick fix because, they had to write the album and fucking mix and master it and shit like that. And yeah, Tell All Your Friends came out not that late after Your Favorite Weapon.
So can I blow the lid off of this? That guy Mike Sapone or whatever, the one I was talking about, he did Tell All Your Friends demo by Taking Back Sunday.
Okay.
And he did Your Favorite Weapon by Brand New.
Oh, you think
so? I think that guy probably was like, hey. Like, why don't you guys just fucking, that bullshit about Jesse and like the other thing? Like, what's that song about? Oh, you know what? You guys should fucking like talk about that and be kind of really vague. And
dude, I bet you he like played them. I bet you he knew that they were talking shit on Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah.
So he played Taking Back Sunday, the song, and then they were like, yeah, what if we fucking did this?
It looks like he's done multiple Taking Back Sunday, and like I said, I think all of Breaking Bad, Brand New's album. So like this guy is, I think he's just the actual production thing it's in New York. So like they're both Northeast bands, New York, Long Island, right?
Yeah.
So like if that's the case, I really do feel like this was like a big old work.
Well,
and I think and it's good music, like it especially for the time period, and like
Good.
also it was good. So it's appropriate
Good.
for the age at the time, not so much anymore, but and it also is. I don't know for me, they're not iconic, like timeless albums that you can listen to forever, like Rain and Blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as like revisiting or listening to either one of these, I definitely liked. I would say Brand New's better. I like their album a little bit more, but I think they were basically the same album.
You think that? Same album. Interesting.
Not the same feel, but like for production wise, it makes a lot more sense to be like, yeah, they're very similar in the not the like literal guitar tone, but like the tone of the album. It just feels like this guy was pumping that shit out.
Yeah, tone wise, I agree with you. I think song structure wise, Your Favorite Weapon comes off way closer to like a pop punk album, and then Tell All Your Friends. And I know we've joked that this term is very vague and muddied, but from my interpretation of it, what?
Don't say it.
I'm gonna say it. It comes off more post-hardcore. But yeah, they are tonally very similar. But I like Taking Back Sundays a little more because I'm a sucker. Because here's the thing about because I'm a sucker. I want to
say full stop.
You know what's ironic?
Suck dicks.
You know what's ironic?
That's it.
It'd be better for me if I was a sucker for Brand New.
Yeah.
Finding out at the time. I was prime ready for Jesse. Jesse, big fan. Let me see it. Let me see it,
funny.
Jesse.
That's not. It's just a thing that continues to. It's a story that continues to unfold.
I'll tuck it
it's
back.
Not real, probably.
I'll
maybe.
tuck it back.
I don't know.
Pretend to be a girl.
Is that
what?
Can you do that?
Watch me, dude.
I will. We're rolling. Go. Give
right.
it to him, man.
Okay.
Give it to him, man.
Okay. You ready?
If you guys aren't subscribed on YouTube,
are you ready, dude?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
3? No, not that. Not even yet, dude.
yeah. But where you?
No, it just looks like that.
Where are you gonna put that?
What?
Oh.
Wait, I can't do it.
Oh, don't put. Yeah. Oh. Oh, you put it in. Oh, it goes in.
Okay, now you want to see me put it back out?
It comes out.
Oh! That's how it comes out.
Oh my god! It came out of the top. I don't know how you got it going around like that.
That's crazy. We have all this info.
It looks like a cat toy. Andy's penis looks like a cat toy.
The fuck was I talking about?
7 stars out of 4.
Oh. I remember what I was talking about. Yeah. For me, so like Your Favorite Weapon's great, but then over time I listened to it a bunch and I realized vocally they were kind of cheating. So they started this and it sounds awesome because you go like, you listen to it and you go, oh my God, the gang vocals are so cool. And they harmonize so well with each other. And then you listen to it more and they're just like doubling up Jesse Lacey.
Yeah.
And you know who's the easiest to harmonize with, Pat? Yourself.
Especially when it's the same track.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, he literally just, they would cheat a lot of times on the chorus.
Old Sapone was like, let me double this up for you.
Exactly.
Hey.
Be like, oh, that chorus? Is that a chorus over there? Let me double it up.
Oh, put an effect on it over
Oh.
Well, you like a little reverb.
Oh, you come over here, you give me a chorus, I put some reverb on it and double it up.
Mikey Sapone's got you. I'll tell you what, I'll make it sound like 2 people.
Oh,
I'll make it 2 sound people like 2 people over here.
Oh, I take the chorus. I do 2 choruses over top of each other. Move them over slightly.
Oh, so Sapone's off the boat. He's like fresh off the boat.
Oh, I double up on the chorus.
I come here from Sicily to make a punk rock.
Oh, I come up from Sicily with my grandmama's recipe of doubling up at the chorus.
Oh, that chorus sounds like my mama's gravy.
Oh, every Sunday, me and my nonna, we go to the market. We find a bunch of kids with slit wrists. We bring them back. We make them sing, and we say, "I do it again."
I need the pencil that cut off the circulation.
Oh, sometimes we do a little bit of eyeliner.
Oh,
and we look like a fat
You're losing it. Eyeliner.
eyeliner. Sometimes the accent drops out.
Mike Sapone.
But yeah, they would double up on the chorus, and Taking Back Sunday. It kind of felt a little bit more layered with the call and response thing.
Yeah.
So I think over time, Tell All Your Friends, in my opinion, ages a lot better. You know,
well,
Jesse Lacey's so mad about that. They're just right there.
If you didn't do the reach down right after that, you would have been able to really sit in that one.
Well, I was trying to kill myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I would say that I would agree with you. I think as far as which one holds up better, the Taking Back Sunday.
Funny wife.
Yeah, funny wife. But that's only because I guess they're also I would assume would still be playing this if they were allowed to play in this country.
Yeah, if you went to a Taking Back Sunday show and they didn't play Cute Without the E, Cut from the Team, there may be army of girls in sweaters killing.
Well, you know what they
people.
say, Andy? Microphones are for singing, not for swinging.
Oh, yes, the T-shirts.
Yeah. Merch. That's what I'm saying. I think
That's
it's a
why
work.
it feels like a work. Is they were selling merch. So Brand New had T-shirts that said "Mics are for singing, not for swinging." Taking Back Sunday had T-shirts that said "Proudly Swinging" since 1999. But the thing is, that's about sex with wives. So that was misconstrued.
Oh, they had the upside down pineapple on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
They
okay.
were like, actually, this is about how I want people to fuck my wife.
They're like, I'll sit in the corner.
Yeah, I love
That's
banging.
what it's about.
We really got to implement more banging on the table.
Well, the more things that are on it, like that aren't spillable, I think it makes it more fun because they just bounce up and down.
Yeah, just a lot of.
And also the neighbors love it.
They love it.
They go, oh, keep it doing it. Where Mike is the bone? But yeah, Taking Back
Make
Sundays,
a more Italian punk rock jokes.
definitely the way better band for sure.
For sure.
Way better than Brand New.
Yeah,
in
I would
every
agree that
single
Taking
way.
Back Sunday is way better than Brand New.
Every single way.
And if you disagree with that, you might just be a dummy.
Pound off in the comments.
Pound off in the comments.
Or on the door.
Or a fucking
She
rape.
can come here with a knife at any point.
Or a fucking rape apologist.
Really? Real problems. They really are.
Yeah, women are the problem.
Problematic.
Oh, so I got to tell you about this.
We're allies. That's what it is. That's why we
are
take
allies.
We're allies, and we believe all women.
Yeah,
Is that
we're
the-
not. We're not.
that's such a funny way to say that. I'm so sorry. I was like, we believe all women, right?
Believe?
Yeah, believe all women.
Yeah, no,
We believe all women.
we're not creeps. We think you should wait till the first day of their 18th birthday
Yeah, that
make
makes it way
sweet-
better.
that's when it's okay to make sweet love to them.
Yeah. So we were talking about
Weezer.
a little thing that happened to the bassist.
Well, it
Or his
didn't
guitar
happen.
player.
It didn't happen to the bassist.
No, to his wife.
To his wife. So I didn't realize this. His wife is actually like a pretty good writer, from what I could tell. Yeah, she has some book about like serial kill. I was laughing. I forget what the fuck it was called. Her name's like Jillian Kilmer, I think.
I put in Weezer and I put in Weezer bassist wife shot.
What's her name?
Weezer bassist wife.
Weezer bassist wife.
Mrs. Schreiner.
Oh yeah, Jillian Schreiner, I think. Or she used like Jillian Lauren. I don't know why I thought Kilmer, because they tried to kill her. Yeah, so she's a
Kill more, huh? Is that what you said?
Yeah, she has this book called Behold.
Kind of a babe.
Yeah, she's hot as shit, dude. She's a huge babe.
Hey, who'd shoot you, baby?
Hey, would he shoot you? A fucking smile?
I forgot. I'm just looking at him. There we go.
Oh yeah, but no, she has a book called Behold the Monster: Confronting America's Most Prolific Serial Killer, and I was actually like, I might get her book because I was looking through and the book looks really cool, and I'm really into serial killers right now.
How does she get shot?
So she's in. She was involved in like a hit and run apparently, and yeah. So there was like a hit and run.
I love how you're like, hold on, let me explain. She was involved in a hit and run. And it's like, that's not helping.
Well, then I'm gonna say more words.
Okay.
To fill it in.
Okay.
No, so I forget exactly how it happened, but apparently, because the cops, I guess the neighbors called the cops because they heard they saw people outside or heard shooting or something like that, and the cops pulled up on her, and the cops pull up and she's just in her front yard with a handgun.
After the hit and run.
So there's apparently like a hit and run.
She's in her front yard?
Yeah, she's in her front yard, I believe. And then the cops are like, "Hey, put the gun down."
Stop.
And she's like,
"Nah.
No." So they shot her in the shoulder.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. I think, and like they did. I read a couple articles. They didn't make it like they said the hit and run, and then they're like she's running around in her fucking yard with a gun. And I'm like, was she like? Because I think the hit and run happened, and one of the people I don't know were like running through their neighborhood or something. I don't know.
Okay, so she was okay. I'm gonna try to make sense. Like I'm gonna say,
I don't fully know what happened.
I think what maybe because you say hit and run, and then she's shooting outside of the front of her house.
So she's not shooting.
So I thought. No,
I did say that. Yeah. I'm not sure if she was shooting. I don't think.
Maybe
she
they
was
just
shooting.
said, "Hey, there's a crazy lady with her gun."
Yeah, I think there was "Hey, there's a really good writer outside with her gun."
This is a beautiful writer out there with a gun.
Yeah, there's a lady who's like cause she's clearly married to her husband because of his fame and fortune, not necessarily his looks.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think of like the levels of privilege she tried to scream at the police before. She's like, "Do you know who I am?" No. Ever heard of Weezer? No.
Ma'am, I'm 22.
There's a song called Beverly Hills. Oh, okay, yeah, I know. All right, so are you in that band? No. Do you know the bass player from Weezer?
Who knows the bass player from Weezer, ma'am?
Is he the guy with glasses?
Ma'am.
I think he's like one of the only ones without it, I think.
She doesn't know. They're like, "Ma'am, who's the bass?" She's like, "Oh, I think he's..."
At some point, they go, "It's just going to... Hey, Tony, it's just going to be easier if we just shoot her." Pow!
That's so funny. She's like, "Oh, God, which one's the bassist?"
Yes. Hold on a second.
He's got the glasses.
Do you read at all?
He's the...
She just switches lanes. She's like, "Wait a minute. Okay, I'm an author. You might know me better.
Are you into serial killers?
Have you seen do you watch the Drew Barrymore show? I was on the daytime TV show as a guest.
I was on that. Remember, it was the episode she insisted to sit on the floor.
It was women's
to be closer to the earth for some reason. We all know she's schizophrenic, but she was in The Wedding Singer, so we just kind of go with it.
Is she really schizophrenic?
She's got something going. She's like all hippy dippy.
I still like her a lot.
I love her. I love her to death. I just worry about her.
Yeah, me too. But hey, so
these are the cops talking.
Oh wait, by the way, pow!
The cops are there like, "Wait, is Drew Barrymore seriously schizophrenic?
Yeah, really? Oh, that's such.
Like, why would you say that? Pow, pow,
you ever
pow,
seen
pow.
Firestarter? Hold on. Pow, pow, pow. So
you know what? I'm not like into her, but like during Charlie's Angels, she could
would.
Get it.
Hey, would.
Oh wait, 1 second. Bam, 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 bam.
Is she down yet?
Is she not dead? She's writing another book.
Yeah, she's so prolific.
Bam, bam, bam.
She has this weird thing. So like,
So prolific.
there's a weird thing with this story where I think what the reasonable assessment may be from an outstory. I have not read anything about it. I just saw this headline, and honestly, I don't care necessarily, but I did care when I thought she was dead. Well, also now knowing that she's like writing shit and all this other stuff makes me feel like she may. It's a weird thing where like, you know how like sometimes artists will come out after a couple years and like people go like, "Oh, they're not a genius, they're just crazy." Like they're just literally, what's going on?
Sorry, I was reading your.
What?
No, it was reminding me. Sorry, I had crazy ADD right now.
Yeah.
It was reminding me of the really popular "Job for a Cowboy" song, and I was like, "Oh wait, no, that one's Entombment of a Machine, and that says Atonement."
All right, I just thought something was crawling on my belly, but there is a.
No, but I did have to get up to read the other side of your stomach.
Hold on. No, I think there's like a weird thing where like after a while where you're like, oh, they're not like a free spirit. They're just crazy. They're not like, I think there's like that thing where maybe, I don't know if this is her case or not, but I think maybe what happened was somebody may have like hit her car that was in her driveway and then like ran. and then like maybe got out of the car and like literally ran. She got a gun out and was like, "Oh my god, this might be a crazy guy." They saw that, and then but like that's the part that's
the crazy.
I'm adding so much logic and backstory to this that
the part that like fucks things up is like
why'd they shoot her?
No, that's what that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
she has the gun in the front yard.
Right.
They come up
her front yard.
Right. I believe they come up. They're like, "The fuck's going on?" And she points a gun at them.
Yeah.
And then they shoot her in the shoulder.
Okay.
Now, we could have White Lady Rodney King. The cops could be lying. They could use excessive
I want to see some
force.
body cam footage.
I'll be honest. The LAPD, not a great track record.
How long before they actually would post that, do you think?
I don't know.
If there's probably going to be a case, right?
There's got to be body cam footage.
Weezer,
wife.
Bassist, wife, shot, body cam?
Body, 3 question marks?
Body cam? Huh?
Is there any body cam?
No. It's just a fucking news story. God damn it. Well,
bitch.
hopefully. Yeah, and that's the other thing. And accused of attempted murder. So, yeah, you're right. There might have been a thing of like, was it, hey, what's going on? And she went, huh? And was like, and they were like, bam, 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 bam.
No, they made it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
they made it out like
did you see that? She tried to kill me.
She was like, have you guys seen my new gun?
Yeah. What are you two doing here? Would you like some lemonade?
Yeah, you're like, it's right over there.
It's right over there.
But yeah,
yeah, I don't understand unless there was some kind of weird, wacky shit like that where they're just like, she's just like, huh, and then they're like, and because to say, like, here's the explanation: she was involved in a hit and run. She's standing outside of her front yard with a gun. When the cops show, she points it at him, and then they accuse her of attempted murder on them or on the hit and run guy.
I think she's gonna get off though because they let her out on like $1 million bond.
That's crazy.
So like if they're probably
to the
not
hospital.
What?
To the hospital?
Yeah. But no, they're probably not too worried about her if they're like letting her walk like that.
Yeah.
So she's probably gonna have to do. I doubt she'll get jail time because she got shot. And she's
a very interesting story.
She's the wife of the bassist of Weezer.
Yes. So,
dude, you know how much I dislike Weezer? I was talking about it on stream, and I made a point to like really truly break down how they're actually like a bad band. And I go like, let's go through the discography.
Yeah.
Good album, okay album.
Like I said, they tarnished their legacy.
Well, dude, I literally was like, Blue album, good. Pinkerton, good. Green album, pretty good. And then I was like, everything else, dog shit.
Yeah. It's not great.
It's not dog shit. I was being funny, but like there are some tunes, but they did
just too much.
Percentage wise. If you look at it, if I'm a big percentage guy. If you look at them in percentages, they're not a good band.
Right.
It's just literally dickheads in my age range just hear the Blue album and they go, "That's Weezer."
It's a nostalgia thing, and I will say a lot of like those songs. They say like you take the car to work, I'll take my board. That song sucks dick. A lot like not most of, let's just say, a lot of those songs that even that you thought were good are still not great. But even still, you got the Wii U, Buddy Holly. You got the.
My problem too with Weezer is every album.
Whale, the Jonas song's pretty good.
That's a good song, yeah. Every album, it just feels like Rivers Cuomo. Rivers Cuomo. Every album feels like Rivers Cuomo's doing a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just be the weirdo talking about lesbians.
Yeah.
That you're good at that. Stop trying to figure out a new thing.
Yeah, they've gone all over the place over the years to the point where I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, and they just have like
they really oversaturated the market with Weezer.
Their energy too is just so like Disney adult Marvel movies or cinema.
I told you I saw
Reddit poster energy.
The first time I saw them was at Universal Studios.
Yeah,
so it's like literally they are a theme park / intermission or post sports game band.
Well, and it goes back
or a cruise band too.
It goes back to a thing we were talking about earlier before the podcast where it was like, I don't care that you like Weezer. Stop trying so hard to tell me that they fucking rip.
Yeah.
Because they don't rip.
It's all subjective.
So next week...
doing Weezer.
We're doing Weezer. It's Weezer week.
He's going to do the Purple album. I'm going to do the Fuchsia album.
I'm going to listen to the Toto cover with a gun in my mouth.
Going.
Oh my God! It's that song Africa.
What should we do next week? Do you want to?
You were talking about Pantera.
Do you want to do?
I'd like to look into his beliefs.
Also in honor of tomorrow's UFC, which will be in the past at this point, but El Pantera, Yair Rodriguez is fighting. So he's has no relation to the band.
He's not in the band.
So we usually try to
he's
do.
Not white. He's not in the band.
We try to do. Yeah, he's not in the band. We try to do the same time frame usually, right? Don't we?
Huh?
The same time, year or so.
Oh, yeah.
That looks like it came out in 1992. So, do you want to do a vulgar display of aggression?
I would like
erections? To. And should I do another Pantera album?
I don't know.
Sepultura.
Vulgar display of power.
1992. Let's see. Yeah, Sepultura was around that time.
What's that?
I think that's a band that I always mistake for Pantera.
That's a good reason to do it then. Wait, who's the band?
Sepultura. There's 1991, Arise, or there is 1993's Chaos AD. So those are around the same time frame. And I think I might be way off. I always thought there was members of Pantera. This might have been because I thought
I love this.
Maybe that I thought they were Pantera.
I'm going to do Sepultura because I thought they were Pantera.
I thought there was at least members of it, but I really don't think there is. They got a big, tall black guy. They got a guy with a beard.
So they're definitely not Pantera.
Definitely not Pantera.
Which album do you want to do? You're going to be listening to it.
Either one.
I don't know
I literally
about Sepultura.
I'm telling you right now, I know less than you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought they were Pantera.
Well, here, pick whichever Pantera album you want.
Let's say 90. Oh, damn it! Hold on, let me see how many. It looks like they have the same amount of hits.
Jesus.
Let's say I'll do Chaos AD.
Okay.
Chaos AD, 1993. Hey hey hee hee.
Woohoo. Whoopity-dee.
So yeah, I'll do Sepultura, Chaos AD. You do Pantera, Chaos BB. And
Chaos Suck Me.
And we'll figure out if they are different or are they the same exact band.
We'll figure out if they're the same band or not.
And if you guys already know, no spoilers. Don't tell us. What?
Nothing. It's just the 90s.
I'm going to listen to Pantera too, by the way.
I'm going to listen to Sepultura.
Also, I don't even know if Sepultura is featured in Fortnite, but let's bring them in there as well. Just to bookend the episode.